guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been ages since I posted a video. I've been so busy with school and final projects and stuff that I really haven't had any time. It's been the most unglamorous thing ever. But I'm here today with an Easter themed video and one I've been wanting to do for the past couple years, so I'm really excited that it's actually going up and before Easter. Like, knock on wood, this is amazing for me. So I've missed you all so much. It's been such a long time and I just feel like I'm so out of touch with everything. So I want to share with you guys some of my favorite breakfast recipes, and I've put a little bit of an Easter twist on them, as well as some of my tabletop decor DIY type things. It's probably pretty obvious, but I'm sick, so don't mind all this beautiful sickness going on right now. So I hope you guys will enjoy this. Let me know if you guys try out any of the recipes or DIYs in this video. Send me a picture or leave me a comment. I'd love to know. And yeah, so let's get right into it. I saw a tutorial on how to make these gilded eggs on chinos.com and I couldn't wait to try it out. So I'm starting off by applying a thin layer of the adhesive sides to the egg. And so that the gold leaf doesn't stick to the entire egg, I'm applying it in random areas. While I'm waiting for the adhesive to get tacky, I'm going to cut my gold leaf into little pieces to make working with it a little bit easier. Now that the adhesive has had about 2 minutes to set, I'm applying the gold leaf and I'm tearing it away from the paper that it's attached to get a more random looking effect. After the gold leaf has had a chance to dry, I'm going to take a soft brush and remove any areas that aren't attached to the egg. I love how easy they are, but they come out looking so beautiful. Using the handle of my foam brush, I'm applying some dots of craft glue to my egg to make a polka dotted pattern. Then I'm sprinkling gold glitter all over the egg. When the glue is completely dry, I'm taking a soft brush and removing any excess glitter. To use as some egg stands, I'm taking some terracotta pots and I'm painting them white. Then I'm taking some floral foam and cutting it into small squares for my pots. So I'm taking some Spanish moss that I picked up at Walmart and I'm forming little nests on the top of my pots. So for my glass hurricanes, I'm taking more of that Spanish moss and I'm just pushing it down all the way around the candle. And then I'm adding some of the eggs that I've already decorated. For some additional touches, I've added some Spanish moss on top of my candle holders to create little faux bird's nests. I'm also adding this watering can flower vase that I picked up from Walmart, as well as some faux flowers that I got from Michael's. So moving on to the bunny folded napkins, I'm going to be awful at explaining this, so I'm just going to let you guys watch the steps and I will post a link for a video tutorial that is a lot more clear than what I'm showing you here in the description bar below, but I hope you enjoy nevertheless. And I love that the bunny napkins make the tabletop look so much more complete. Moving on to the food. So I'm going to start off by showing you guys how to make the traditional New Zealand dessert Pavlova, which is one of my absolute favorites. So I'm starting off by mixing 6 egg whites in a mixer until they are stiff and glossy. In a small bowl, I'm adding 1 cup of white sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and I'm mixing it all together. I'm gradually adding the mixture into my egg whites and beating until they start to look like marshmallow cream. This actually tastes delicious at this stage. Then I'm sprinkling in 2 teaspoons of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon at a time, and gently folding them into my egg whites. This amount of egg whites makes 1 8-inch meringue crust or 6 individual servings. I've lined my springform pans with some parchment paper and I'm lightly dusting them with cornstarch. Then I'm taking a spatula and I'm piling in my meringue. While I'm doing this, I'm preheating my oven to 400 degrees.
Just before I put the pavlova in the oven, I'm turning the temperature down to 250 degrees. I'm setting a timer for 75 minutes. So I left my pavlova in the oven for a total of 85 minutes. And when they're done, I'm leaving them in the oven for 15 more minutes with the door open. When they're done, they need to be left in a dry area until ready to serve. Otherwise, they'll get a little bit sticky from the humidity in the air. And don't worry if there are cracks in your meringue because they'll be covered up with whipped cream later anyways. Using a butter knife, I'm loosening up the edges of the meringue to help remove them from the springform pans. So I'm moving my pavlova over onto a cake stand, and this will make it easier for assembling. This is definitely my favorite dessert for spring and summer because it's so light and airy and just perfect for the season. And just a side note, it tastes nothing like your typical pie meringue. I'm topping it off with some sweetened vanilla whipped cream and strawberries. It's best to top them just before serving so that the moisture from the whipped cream and strawberries doesn't seep into the meringue. Now I'm going to show you guys my favorite crepes. So starting off, I'm adding 1.5 cups of flour into my mixer bowl, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/3 cup of white sugar. In a separate bowl, I'm adding 3 eggs, 1 cup of milk, 3/4 cup of water, and 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract. And I'm just going to whisk that all together. Then I'm going to add that to my dry ingredients and turn my mixer on low. When that's finished mixing, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of melted butter and mix again. Next, I'm going to add 1 cup of whipping cream into my mixer and I'm going to whip it. Then I'm going to transfer the whipped cream into a new bowl. I've switched to the flat beater attachment and I'm going to cream 1 package of cream cheese that I've cubed. I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 1/4 cups of powdered sugar, and then I'm going to mix until smooth. Then I'm going to gently fold the cream cheese mixture into the whipping cream. I'm pouring about 1/4 cup of batter onto a preheated crepe pan, and I'm just swirling it around until it coats the bottom, and then I'm going to leave it on the heat until the edges turn lightly brown. To assemble the crepes, I'm taking a couple dollops of the cream cheese mixture and just applying it to the middle of my crepe, and then I'm just going to smooth it out and then layer over top of that a few spoonfuls of some sliced strawberries. To finish off my crepe, I'm drizzling it with some coconut nectar, and this stuff tastes almost like caramel sauce. It's so yummy, and it's low on the glycemic index. So I'm moving on to deviled eggs, which I think are super appropriate for Easter brunch. I'm going to start by bringing a pot of water with 6 eggs up to a boil. Then I'm going to turn off the heat and cover the pot for 6 minutes. When that's done, I'm going to transfer the eggs into a bowl with some ice water. So I've peeled my eggs, now I'm just cutting them in half and removing the yolks. So for the deviled egg filling, I'm going to add all of my ingredients into a bowl with my egg yolks, and then when I've done that, I'm going to mix everything together and start to mash them until really creamy and smooth with a potato masher. To make a convenient piping bag, I'm going to cut the corner off a Ziploc bag and attach a piping tip. Then I'm just spooning the mixture into the bag and sealing it closed. And now for the best part, piping the mixture into the egg white shells. To top them off, I sprinkled them with some paprika and some finely chopped green onions. My favorite style of eggs are poached. So what better way to Easterize them than by putting them in a hash brown nest? I like my hash browns nice and brown, so I'm going to first start off by cooking them on my cast iron griddle. For reference, I'm using hash browns from Simply Potatoes. And I'm just going to let them sit there for a couple minutes to get nice and golden. And then I'm going to transfer them into a bowl and season them with about 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. And I'm going to add in some cracked black pepper. Then I'm going to mix in about 1 cup of cheddar cheese that I've grated and stir that all together. So I'm just greasing my muffin tin and letting my oven preheat to 425 degrees while I assemble my little nests. So I'm going to pop them into the oven for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to reduce the temperature down to 350 degrees for an additional 10 minutes. And when they're done, they'll look like this. So for my poached eggs, I'm going to add some white vinegar to my pot to help stabilize the whites. And then to help get the perfect shape, I'm going to swirl my water into a little whirlpool and drop my egg down into the water slowly using a cup. And then when they're done, they'll look something like this, like a perfect little ball of mozzarella. And to assemble them, I'm just putting the eggs on the hash brown nests and drizzling them with a light pesto cream sauce.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have an amazing Easter, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.